Hi again and welcome to my channel. Now, today's lesson is a lesson that I've learned myself through experience. It's an important lesson for everyone. I think if everyone did this or made an effort to try and do this, it could really make a difference to other people's lives. Once you finish watching this video, if you don't already do this, this should hopefully change the way that you think. Let's go. I never really like it when people know a person or has access to a person and they see a display of unusual behavior or hear of certain things or certain actions that a person's done. But they will talk about the incident or what they've heard amongst themselves, but they'll never go to the person and discuss it with them, find out more about it. This is even worse when they know the character of the person and they know it's unusual. They know this is not normal behavior for a person. It's just as bad when people start judging a person without even knowing the person based on something they may have heard or an incident or display of behavior. They don't ask the question why. Why did the person do that? Why did the person act out like that? You're going to understand more as I go through this video. I remember once when I was at my local gym with my partner. We finished our training and everything, got ready, and we decided we're going to have breakfast at the gym. Now, we went up to go and order our breakfast and we spoke to a guy who's there pretty regularly in the gym. We started placing our order and this guy taking the order was being quite abrupt in the way that he spoke to us and seemed a bit agitated and was being a little bit aggressive in the way that he spoke. We both noticed it and we were like, okay. He then answered one question really rudely and at that point we thought he's gone too far. Now, the normal reaction in a situation like that is to attack, to pull him up on his behavior, say something to his manager, cause him an issue. My partner was just about to say something to him and in my head I was thinking, I have to deal with this now. It's kind of gone too far. But then I thought for a minute and I stopped and I said to my partner, wait 1 minute. I said to him, is everything okay? Because you don't look like a person who would normally behave the way that you're behaving. Because the guy didn't. He didn't look like someone who'd be so rude. The guy stopped and he said, I'm really sorry. I've had some really bad news in the family and I haven't slept. I know it's no excuse, but I am sorry. I said to him, I thought there must be something because your behavior doesn't really suit your character. And I really do hope, whatever the problem is, that it's able to be worked out. He said, I know, I'm never usually like this. I'm really sorry. We went to sit down and we went to wait for our breakfast to be brought over and the guy brought the breakfast over himself. And he said to us, I just wanted to say thank you. I really appreciate you just asking. I'm sorry again. And then he walked off. You see, it was really easy for me to go on the attack, cause him a problem, make a complaint, speak to his manager. Imagine I had done that. I don't know how stable the guy was. The guy's going through some real problems. He didn't tell us what the problem was, but he was going through some real problems. How would that have made him feel if I started an argument with him, made a complaint about him, spoke to his manager? It wouldn't have made him feel better. It could have pushed him over the edge. I don't know. The guy was struggling to deal with what he's dealing with, let alone to be dealing with that on top of it. I called up LBC one day. LBC is a radio station in London in the UK. I was listening to caller after caller talking about a teenage boy. And I got quite incensed. I'm going to tell you why. The whole debate was about a police officer who bent a teenager's arm all the way around his back and lifted him off the floor onto the police counter while his colleagues were laughing. Now, what happened is the police officer ended up being convicted in court and he ended up losing his job and losing his home. Caller after caller were calling up defending the police officer. calling the teenager spoilt, disrespectful, saying he deserved what happened to him. He was probably a menace to society, and it should have been the teenager that lost everything, not the police officer. Comments like that were continuing for quite a while. So I made the call and I spoke to my favourite presenter, James O'Brien, and he took the call asking me what was I calling about. I said to him that I'm pretty annoyed about all the calls that are coming through on this subject, and he seemed surprised. So I explained to him why. I said, where did all these callers get the idea that this teenager was spoilt, a menace to society, he deserved everything he got, etc. They've never met the teenager, they've never spoken to the teenager, they don't even know why the teenager was in a police station, they don't know his background, they know absolutely nothing about him. So where did they get this impression from? James O'Brien went quiet and he just listened. They're judging him because in a police station. They've not even taken the time to know any of the reasons. They've not taken the time to ask why. In the same breath, they're defending the police officer. They don't know his background. They don't know whether he's done anything like this before. They don't know anything about him. They don't know the reason he did it. All they can see is camera footage of other police officers laughing as he's doing it. But yet they're defending him. They don't know the guy. They don't know anything about him. They don't know any reasons, but still defending him. I said a few more things and James O'Brien completely changed his mind on the subject. So with the next calls, he used my argument in order to deal with the other callers that were defending the police officer. You see, the point of this video is for people to take the time to ask why, to give people an opportunity, to let them say their side, to hear it from the actual person, not third hand. So, for example, if you've got children at home and one of your children is behaving out of character, doing things that they normally don't do, it's very easy to punish them, shout at them, tell them off. But why don't you just ask them why? What has made them change the way that they're changing? I hear so many parents saying, he used to be such a good boy, or she used to be such a good girl, and now she's changed, or he's changed. Have you asked why? What's happened? What the reason is? If you have a group of friends and one of your friends is acting strangely, behaving differently, acting out of character, there's no point discussing it with the other friends. Ask that friend why. What's happened? That friend might need you, but you won't know unless you ask them. When you're close to someone, you know their character, so you know when they're acting differently from what they usually would. But unless you ask them why, you're not going to know. Same if you hear something bad about a person that you know, and that person's always been good to you, polite to you, giving you time. Don't just sit there, take it from some other random person's mouth. If that person has been a good person to you, why don't you find out their side of the story before you decide to just condemn them or judge them? You can't give a verdict unless you speak to the person. Finally, if you're in a similar situation that I was in, with that person in the gym behind a counter, you don't know the person, they're being rude, abrupt. You can cause them a problem, make a complaint, or you can give it a minute and you can ask them to explain their behaviour. If they don't come up with an explanation, or they're just continuing, fair enough, take action, but at least give them the opportunity. Remember, not everyone can deal with stress or situations like you can, and some people have different ways of reacting to tough situations. I hope this video has been useful to you, and I hope you can take something from this that will help you. I've had quite a few messages from some of my subscribers asking me to do certain videos. I'm going to be doing those, so stay tuned. If you're new to my channel, please remember to hit the subscribe button if you like my content, because it does mean a lot to me. Please like and share this to anyone who may find it useful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.